Hi, in this demo I would like to give you an overview of the new Openshift 4 for Administrators workshop. Uh, in this workshop you will have a possibility to get some hands-on experience with Openshift 4. So each participant will have a dedicated Openshift cluster that will consist initially of 3 master and 3 worker nodes. You will use a web-based terminal in order to execute actions in your OpenShift cluster. So we'll start with the basics. So you will have a look on the installation environment. Then you will probably recap your existing knowledge about how to set up a project and deploy the application. Here you can see that with this web-based interface, it's very easy to execute the command. So you can see on the left-hand side, whenever you have a command, then you have a button, you click it, and it is executed on the terminal. So it's really easy. Then we will talk about the storage basics, so persistent volume claims, and then we will move into some newer functionalities that are introduced in OpenShift 4. So we will start with the OpenShift nodes management automation, which leverages a new machine APIs and is implemented using the operators, which is the framework that we use in OpenShift for managing the life cycle of all the components of OpenShift that run on top of Kubernetes. In the next lab, you will learn how to create infrastructure nodes in your cluster and how to use the operators. In OpenShift 4, the installer by default will not provision infrastructure nodes. However, you can leverage the machine API to create the definition, the template of your infrastructure node, and then to spin those nodes up. If you remember from OpenShift 3, infrastructure nodes are the nodes where we run all the OpenShift infrastructure components like router, registry, log aggregation, metric aggregation server, and some other components. Then the next lab, which is I think for me is the most interesting one, you will learn how to deploy the new OpenShift Container Storage version 4 into OpenShift cluster. So OpenShift Container Storage version 4 is based on the Ceph software-defined storage technology, and it leverages the Rook operator to manage the whole life cycle of Ceph clusters in OpenShift. So here you will learn in this lab you will learn how to set up a new storage nodes in your cluster. Then you will see how to deploy the Rook operator, how to deploy Ceph cluster, 3 nodes Ceph cluster. Then you will see how to upgrade between Ceph versions. And finally, you will learn how to add additional nodes into your cluster, and of course, you will test it with some demo application. So this is very nice lab, and it's very powerful and very interesting. Next lab is about log aggregation. In OpenShift 4, just like in OpenShift 3, the installer is not installing by default Elasticsearch, Kibana, and Fluentd. component. So, however, it is very easy to leverage the operators and install those components in OpenShift 4, and this is what you will test here. Then you will integrate your cluster with external LDAP server for identity management. So you will test the authentication, and how to manage role-based access control, how to synchronize LDAP groups with OpenShift, and how to assign OpenShift roles into the groups. Next lab will be about the monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana. So the monitoring stack is installed by default by the installer, and in this lab you will see how to use those components, and what you can get and expect from those components in OpenShift. And then we will come back to some concepts that are known from OpenShift 3. However, of course, there are some changes in the way how you will configure and implement them. So you will see how to create, or you will try and test how the creation of project templates, project quotas, and limits that you can assign to your project. And in the last lab, you will test the network police SDN plugin, which is the default SDN implementation in OpenShift 4. You will see how you can configure the network policies in order to implement some simple segmentation of your network. So that's it. So as you can see, it's pretty comprehensive set of labs and topics for OpenShift administrators. So I hope you will enjoy it, and you will register and attend this workshop when it will be available somewhere around you.